Good morning. Today we're going to talk about frying vegetables just with a tiny light bit of flour. The challenge with frying is always moisture. You want to get crispy, moisture is the enemy. So what we're going to do with just some normal salt is just draw the moisture out of these three products and then mix the flour in with that. And what that really does is you have this, like, let's just use shallot juice for example. You have the juice of the shallot coming out, mixing with the flour, and it makes like this batter. But because the moisture is now on the outside of the shallot, when it cooks, the violence of the cooking, it doesn't steam from the inside out through the breading that you just made crispy. So if we would just fry all these things now, they would be soggy after about a minute because of all the moisture trying to escape. But if you draw the moisture out beforehand with salt, it stays crispy pretty much indefinitely. So we have sweet potato, mandolin. These are local courgettes, local zucchinis. Mandolin again. Mandolin. The importance, why I use mandolin for everything is consistency. If they're all this, they have to be the same thickness. Otherwise, some will burn and some will be underdone. Especially with these. Also, we're going to fry at a real low temperature, 160 Celsius or 300 Fahrenheit, because we don't want the sugars to come out and get black before we get most of the water out. Just add salt, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. What's going to happen? They're all going to get really wet. Patty, you want to make a comment on wet?
No, you're all right.
Oh, sure. All right. And they're going to get like kind of soggy or almost limp.
Like your...
Yes. It's we all have our days, and Patty's having one of his right now where he's just bored of this shit. So I'm trying to give him meatballs. I'm trying to serve him up meatballs where he can be happy. So for about an hour, we'll stir every half hour, but after about an hour, all the moisture that's going to come out will be out, and you can toss in just the normal flour. Of course, you could use self-raising, you could use semolina, you use whatever you want. But just an example, I want to do it really simple, really basic. That way you can try this at home. And remember to keep the oil heat low, but we'll go over that later.
Copy.
This is after almost an hour. Everything's gotten a lot wetter and softer, especially the shallots. They're almost cooking with the salt, which is exactly what we want. Very kind of floppy, but
You're used to handling fluffy things, though, aren't you?
Oh, you know, I tell you some things. I tell you some things in secret, Patty. So we need to knock off the excess flour, and then we're going to fry it, very low temperature. Look at that, perfect. It's a really nice coating. Sweet potatoes are annoying because they mostly burn before you can get all the water out of them, so they stay crispy. But because we haven't set well, and because they're the same thickness, then they shouldn't burn. They should just kind of cook evenly and get crispy. But we shall see. Listen to crispy. Crispy sweet potato. Damn. Obviously, people don't know how to fry it, or maybe you're rich and you do, but they take a lot of space, a lot of oil. You can always just use a digital read thermometer. They're really fast, maybe a couple seconds, and they'll tell you exactly how hot your oil is. So you want to 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. That's what all fryers are at. That's what most ovens are at, ironically. That's the COVID-19 tip. How to make nice, crispy, well, whatever you want. Just add some salt, have the moisture leak out, and you basically make a batter with the juice from whatever you're using. And they stay crispy, they don't get soggy. It's a good little trick. Hope that helps at home during these quarantine times, COVID-19 shit times. Be safe, everyone. Bye.